Good morning. It's Tuesday, January 21st. Here's what we're working on this morning. Extreme cold warnings continue in Hamilton and across much of the country.
U.S. President Donald Trump suggests he could still hit Canada with tariffs.
And the Leafs continue to take the Tampa Bay Lightning by storm. Okay, on the bright side this morning, we are 2 months away from spring.
Yes, there's some good news.
I'm looking at the date and I'm like, okay, let's just look on the bright side this morning.
Right. Celebrate by grabbing your turtleneck and your heaviest jacket as you walk outside.
Yep, that's what you need this morning. Oh yeah, frigid is a word we can use this morning.
And I saw crews working overnight on the roads and I'm like,
so did I.
How are they doing that?
Yeah, how do you work outside?
I thought the same thing. So for anybody working outside or having to go work outside, goodness, okay.
Yeah, I was doing a bit of work yesterday afternoon on the horse trailer, and I was out in the riding ring, and it was like, I gotta get in. I can't feel my fingers, my face is. It's dangerously cold, really cold, and it's going to be a colder day today than it was yesterday because that wind. We're going to have wind chill values like overnight tonight. The wind chill values are going to be down around minus 30, so dangerously cold. We're sitting at minus 16 right now with a wind chill of minus 24. So going to a high of minus 12 with a wind chill of minus 26. So the winds will pick up as the day goes on, and that's what gives us that brutal wind chill value. And never mind the extreme cold weather warnings in effect for just about all of southern Ontario. There's a snow squall watch for the Niagara Falls area. Could get 15 centimeters of snow today and along the north shore of Lake Erie. So insult to injury there. So we'll talk about that coming up. Let's look at traffic. 403 Waterdown Road. Looks good at the moment. Nothing to see there. We do have a single vehicle rollover at the top of the escarpment on the Red Hill Valley Parkway. It's southbound, so it's going up the escarpment, and it's right at Mud Street, waiting for tows, heavy tows, to get the vehicle out of the ditch. It was a rollover there. All right, here is the Red Hill Creek camera. No problems here at the QEW, Toronto bound away from us. Same here at the top of the Burlington Skyway Bridge. Looks good here east of 4th. Not a lot happening other than that problem. As I said, it's going up the escarpment on the Red Hill Valley Parkway just as you get to the split to go off to Mud Street. We had a single vehicle. It rolled and went into the ditch there, and they are waiting for a heavy tow to get that out of the ditch. So it'll be a bit of a problem for a bit. All right, we'll look at weather and traffic coming up in a few minutes. Right now, the news.
Okay, that cold is our top story. Many regions across the country continue under extreme cold weather warnings this morning, including in Hamilton, Halton, and Niagara. Simone Gavros joins us now from Hamilton's Westdale neighborhood with more on what you need to know.
Well, Annette, it is bitterly cold today, more so than it was yesterday. And I was by the falls yesterday, which is typically much colder. But we are going to be experiencing these extreme cold weather starting into today and as well into tomorrow. And temperatures could feel, like Brian was saying, around minus 30 with that wind chill. Now, Environment Canada is reminding people to dress in layers to stay warm. Like I am right now, I have my hat on, gloves, scarf. I have 2 sweaters, and I'm wearing snow pants as well to make sure that I am staying bundled up and very warm out in the cold today. Now, Hamilton, Halton, as well as Brantford have all issued cold weather alerts for their regions because of how freezing cold it is. Now, those come into effect when weather conditions are at or below minus 15 degrees or minus 20 with the wind chill. Everyone is at risk when it comes to cold, but more vulnerable populations, including children, older adults, those experiencing homelessness, and people who work outdoors can be more susceptible to the cold. Now, with weather like this, it always increases the risk of windburn, frostbite, and hypothermia. Unprotected skin can freeze in less than 30 minutes. If you must be outside for whatever reason, people are reminded to dress in layers, protect your face, ears, and hands, drink warm fluids, and avoid strenuous exercise. And remember, if it's too cold for you outside, it's too cold for your pets. Now, rec centers and libraries are going to be available as warming centers across the region, including this one here in Westdale. This one opens at 9 a.m., including a number of other ones across Hamilton. It's also Hamilton's winter strategy is also in place right now, which is not weather dependent. That is available, and it opens up any overnight shelters for those who are more vulnerable. For now, Tim, back over to you.
All right, thanks, Simone. Well, he is no longer president-elect. He is now U.S. President Donald Trump, and he did not impose his 25% tariffs on Canada yesterday, but says we should expect it soon.
In terms of 25% on Mexico and Canada, because they're allowing vast numbers of people. Canada's a very bad abuser also. Vast numbers of people to come in and fentanyl to come in.
So Trump said Canada should expect the levies on February the 1st, while declining to flesh out his plans for taxing Chinese imports. Trump made the announcement in response to reporters' questions while signing executive actions in the Oval Office. He's placing a big bet that his executive actions can cut energy prices and tame inflation, and that the tariffs will strengthen the economy instead of exposing consumers to higher prices. It's unclear whether his orders will be enough to foster the growing economy with lower prices that he promised voters.
After that announcement, Foreign Affairs Minister Mélanie Joly and Finance Minister Dominic LeBlanc held a late-night news conference. They intend to see through a plan to handle Trump's tariffs. Joly says Canada has a plan to ramp up border security, issue retaliatory tariffs, and also have a long-term strategy to deal with economic hardship.
This is an important moment for Canadians. We need to continue to fight for our interests, to defend jobs across the country, and we're calling every single political leader across the board, across the country, to stand united, because now, more than ever, we need to make sure that we put country first.
And Finance Minister Dominic LeBlanc says most of Canada's premiers are united regarding the retaliatory measures that they plan to respond with.
Okay, let's get some more reaction, because Ontario Premier Doug Ford says that he's outraged by what he heard from Donald Trump yesterday. Ford said Trump is just creating more uncertainty, but has made it clear he wants to undermine businesses in countries like Canada and move jobs to the U.S. Ford said he's ready to retaliate, starting by cutting off sales of American alcohol.
And I've sent a direction to the LCBO, these tariffs come, to clear off every bit of U.S. alcohol off the shelves. We're the largest purchaser of alcohol in the entire world. They will feel the pain.
And Prime Minister Justin Trudeau also threatened Trump with counter tariffs. Trudeau congratulated Trump, though, and said that we have a chance to work together again to create more jobs and prosperity for both of our nations. Meanwhile, Alberta Premier Danielle Smith, who's trying to prevent Canada from imposing retaliatory export tariffs on Alberta oil and gas, called Trump's speech promising and added that he's demonstrated they're willing to give us some time to deal with border issues. But she also said the threat of U.S. tariffs, that is very real, and Canada should refrain from further talk of retaliatory measures.
Premier Doug Ford is hinting at an early provincial election, saying that he needs a strong mandate to handle 4 years of a Donald Trump presidency. The next election is set for June 2026. A new liaison strategy poll shows Ford's government leading Bonnie Crombie's Liberals by 9 points. Well, the undecided rate rises. Liberals lead in Northern Ontario and Toronto, but the Conservatives have strong results across other parts of the province, including a recent lead in South Central Ontario with 36% compared to 33% for the NDP. NDP leader Marit Stiles is calling for a focus on the tariff threat and not an early Ontario election.
I'm hearing concern as I go around the province about economic uncertainty, about concern about the threats coming from the United States. But what I'm not hearing is one single person saying, you know what we need? A provincial election. We've got chaos in Ottawa. We've got a threat from south of the border. What we really need right now is a provincial election to divide us. So I want to say once again, if it comes, I'll be ready. We will all be ready. But this is not what Ontarians need or deserve right now.
Now, afterwards, Stiles posted on X that we need to stay focused on what we can do here in Ontario to support every sector at risk and defend every single job in the face of this tariff threat. She went on to say the Premier needs to focus on the 500,000 jobs at risk, not his own.
All right, let's get into Sportsline. Maple Leafs back on home ice after an impressive come-from-behind win over Montreal on Saturday night, scoring 7 unanswered goals after falling behind 3-0.
Cooper well aware of him there. Now, Nylander all alone. He's in. He scores!
And Willie Nylander, he's on a heater right now as he sniped home that one after he was sent in all alone on Tampa's Jonas Johansson. It was Willie's 4th goal in the past 3 games, put the Buds up 2-0 over the Lightning, a team that they've already beaten twice this season. Then the top line, Matthew Knies, Austin Matthews, and Mitch Marner took over, with Knies scoring twice, Matthews and Marner each having one. The line combined for an 8-point night in a 5-3 win. It was their 30th win of the season. They've won 3 straight. They now welcome Columbus into town tomorrow. Let's go to Edmonton, where the NHL has come down hard on superstar Connor McDavid. Suspended the Oilers centerman for 3 games after he received a match penalty on Saturday night for this cross-check coming up right there. Yikes, to the face of Vancouver's Connor Garland. So this will be the 2nd suspension for McDavid after he got a 2-game ban back in 2019 and was fined for an elbow in 2021. Starts tonight as the Oilers host the league's top team, the Washington Capitals. Finally, some good news for you Blue Jays fans. With spring training under a month away and plenty of coming in second when it comes to signing free agents, the Blue Jays were finally able to lock down a power hitter, and Anthony Santander, who spent the last 8 years with Baltimore, having a breakout year last season, hitting 44 home runs and driving in 102 RBIs. The outfielder signed a 5-year deal worth $92.5 million, the 3rd largest contract handed to a free agent in Jays history. He's going to be introduced at a news conference this afternoon. Let's go to Atlanta, where the culmination of a 12-team college football playoff came down to the final 2 in Ohio State and Notre Dame, battling it out for the national championship. 2 of the biggest brands facing off. Notre Dame hoping for their first national title since 1988. Despite scoring first, this one all Buckeyes, as they would score 31 unanswered points into the second half. Now, the Fighting Irish, they would make a bit of a game of it, pulling to within 1 score into the 4th quarter, but they fall short as the Buckeyes, they would celebrate their 9th national football title. They take this one 34-23. The celebration was underway, and it will continue all the way back to Columbus. All right, let's finish up down under, because we have some live action happening right now. Quite the matchup in the men's quarterfinals this morning. Tuesday night in Melbourne is 10-time Australian Open champ Novak Djokovic up against 3rd-ranked Carlos Alcaraz, looking for his first Aussie title, never having gotten past the quarterfinal stage, so they're still in the first set in this one, so we'll be watching this through the show. There was a massive upset overnight as 3rd-ranked American Coco Gauff fell to Paula Badosa of Spain in the women's quarterfinals. I do want to say that Ottawa's Gabriela Dabrowski and her partner are moving on in women's doubles. They're off to the semifinals.
Okay, are you ready? Let's get into this Tuesday morning, 21st of January. We'll talk about traffic first of all, and then get to the all-important forecast. Traffic this morning looks good, 403 Waterdown Road. Again, nothing to see right there. The problem that we have in Hamilton is on the Red Hill Valley Parkway going up the escarpment, so southbound, right at Mud Street, a single vehicle rollover into a ditch. We're waiting for that to get cleared, so I'll keep you posted on that. Let's go to some MTO traffic cameras. Garden City Skyway, the west camera looks good. Light volume through there. The Red Hill Creek still looks good. East of Brant Street, nothing. East of Royal Windsor, all the way through Etobicoke Creek. As you can see, there's no problems in traffic this morning. Okay, you're at the door. You're going to be going, can I do this? Okay, I'll do it, and I'll do it quickly. Minus 16 is our temperature right now. The winds are picking up a little bit, and that's giving the wind chill a little more oomph, so it feels like minus 25 out there this morning. The relative humidity is quite low, and we have fairly clear skies at the moment, so we'll see a bit of sunshine for the day today. So going to school today, sun-cloud mix, we'll have some flurries. Temperature will climb to minus 12, but a wind chill, that's what you dress for, wind chill minus 26. So that high-pressure ridge to the south of us, giving us that a bit of a southwest flow across the Great Lakes, continuing the lake effect machine into the Niagara region, and of course coming off of Lake Huron around Kincardine, Highway 21 partially closed because of the snow squalls there. So 10 to 15 centimeters, that's for Niagara Falls and the north shore of Lake Erie for the day today, but temperatures anywhere from minus 12 to minus 10, 11, minus 14 Guelph and Kitchener. That's the high temperature. Another 5 centimeters for Niagara tonight. Temperatures anywhere from -19 to -22. Wind chill values of -29. And that's for the Hamilton area. Other areas will have stronger wind chill values. Tomorrow, temperature moderates a bit, -8, 9, 10, 11. A little bit of flurry activity, but at least we'll see some sunshine for the day once again tomorrow. So out the door this morning, temperature right now -16. As I said, the wind chill this morning is extreme, so be prepared for a really frigid day. Mainly clear. It is cold at the moment. Wind chill value about -24. Long-range forecast coming up. Annette, Tim.
Okay, thanks very much. Well, we're going to say good morning after the break to Emily Vukovic with a preview of what's to come in Chitchat. Also in business news, grocery prices rising faster than inflation. There are a number of factors why. We'll have the details in a couple of minutes. And let's say good morning to Emily Vukovic with what's coming up in Chitchat.
Hi, good morning. Well, we've got a sneak peek at tomorrow's segment as we are going to Gaslight FX Studio.
What's this?
Our producer, Don, really wanted to get his face into a mask. And so they plastered his face.
Right.
And they made him into a character.
Oh, like a Star Trek character.
He wishes.
He's not a character already.
Yeah, right. Yeah, he tried to sell it. He tried to get me to do it, and but he had to sit there for like 2 or 3 hours.
Well, it was supposed to be my job, as we all know, to do that. And I was like, I don't have 3 hours.
No way. Anyways, okay. Well, thanks, producer Don. So that's okay. That's coming up.
So we're gonna watch that in its all of its glory.
All 3 hours of it?
You bet. Yeah, Chit Chat's extended today. No.
We'll be here till noon.
Is looking for a new home, and later on this morning, the internet is going crazy over what First Lady Melania Trump was wearing at the inauguration.
There's a lot of good stuff in the inauguration.
Yes.
But like of that, but there's many other things. And Barron Trump is like 7'5", and like he's
7'5"?
Do you ever see he is like 6'8". He's huge. You see him?
Because Donald Trump himself is very tall.
6'6".
Well, I saw him sitting, but I guess that wouldn't.
He's really, he's
very tall.
He's really, really tall.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. All right, we shall discuss.
See you in a bit.
Okay. Well, after the inauguration yesterday, our dollar has been really volatile in the past 24 hours. So it peaked at 70 cents US yesterday afternoon, and now it's dropped another half a cent, 50 points, now trading at 61.31 cents US. Gold is down $17 an ounce. Crude oil has lost $1.34 in overseas trading to $76.56 a barrel. Midday trading in Europe, markets are up in London but down in Frankfurt, up a bit in Paris.
Okay, let's go to Asia. Markets were up in Tokyo and Hong Kong, but just down a point in Shanghai. Okay, North American markets. Let's take a look at how they did yesterday with the inauguration. Well, actually, the Dow Jones and NASDAQ, Wall Street was closed, not for the inauguration, but for Martin Luther King Day. So they'll be back today. Let's see how they react to some of the executive orders that were placed by Trump. And even for the TSX, it was up 103 basis points because I just don't think they know how to react as of yet. So we'll see going forward.
Well, Loblaw says grocery prices are going to continue to outpace inflation because of a weaker dollar, supply chain issues, and rising production costs. The report, released ahead of Stats Canada's inflation index this morning, highlights sharp price increases for coffee, cocoa, and beef. Loblaw adds that Canada imports much of its produce from the U.S., and a weaker dollar makes those goods more expensive. Grocers have faced criticism from politicians and consumers over a 20% increase in the average price of groceries over 3 years, but they deny accusations of profiting from inflation, saying that they face unreasonable requests from suppliers and have been doing their part to mitigate rising prices. In November, overall inflation was 1.9%, but grocery prices were up 2.6%.
Canada's federal privacy watchdog is concerned about the latest cybersecurity breach involving student information systems used across several provinces, including Ontario, Power School. So this is based out of the U.S. It had a data breach between December the 22nd and the 28th. The company says the incident that it's been contained. The federal privacy czar said his office is seeking more information about this breach and will also inform Power School about reporting requirements under Canada's privacy legislation. Boards in Halton and Hamilton, they use this software. The Halton Catholic District School Board says that student names, parent contact details, and some staff information were accessed. Power School does not anticipate the data being made public.
Okay, we're taking a break right now. Brian is going to be back with your traffic and your 7-day forecast. We'll find out when this cold is going to break.
Let down our shoulders.
Good morning, 6:25. Extreme cold weather alerts, warnings in effect for a lot of southern Ontario, including the Horseshoe, and you'll know why when you step outside this morning. Minus 16 is the temperature in Hamilton. The winds make it feel like minus 25. Same for Mississauga, minus 13 Grimsby, and for Toronto. Let's talk seasonal temperatures once again. Minus 2 for the daytime high. Didn't get anywhere near there yesterday. And minus 10 for the overnight low. The record for today, the low, is minus 24.7. So we're still going to be a little bit above that, thankfully. Those are our sun times for the day today. So for school today, we'll be minus 15 for the first bell and minus 15 for after school with a bit of flurry activity. After we climb to minus 12 today with a wind chill of minus 26. Minus 20 overnight tonight with a wind chill of minus 29. Frostbite territory. Tomorrow, minus 10. And then it starts to moderate, minus 6. Not bad for this time of year. Minus 5, it'll get better with some sunshine, and then continues to moderate, minus 4, 3, and minus 2 by Monday. That's your forecast. And that, Tim.
Okay, thanks, Brian. This is a great story. Kind of a follow-up story to that we did a little while ago, because a Hamilton photographer has made a third world record dive. Training photographer, his name is Steve Haining, and his team. So they dove 163 feet, breaking the record for the deepest underwater model photo shoot. Haining made history again by setting a new Guinness World Record, going beyond the non-decompression limit of scuba diving, something that takes a lot of training for all involved.
If you're a professional diver, 130 feet is your limit. And there's very few people in the world that can dive past that.
Now, the model, Sierra Antoski, worked with Haining on the original shoot that broke the world record and wanted to go have even more dive training so she could go deeper and do it again. And we should note that her breathing apparatus in these shots is not photoshopped out. She's holding her breath, and she got air from a tank in between shots.
Okay, can we just keep this for a second here? Because so they have the tank, so then they're taking the tank off of her.
They're taking the fins off of her.
Everything off of her.
Yep.
And so then she's holding her breath.
Yep.
While they're taking these pictures at a depth of 163 feet.
Yeah. I'm having trouble breathing just thinking about this.
Isn't that something? And then how do you train for that?
I don't know.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
Oh man, I know Kelly Batella.
Beautiful and beautiful shots.
Yeah, Kelly Batella did the story yesterday on the 6th. So
yeah, it's up on our website.
Okay. Yeah, we knew it was frigid today, so you'll have to be ready. Get set and bundle up. It's a cold one.